the truth.
That's me. Oh, I almost forgot how to do the buttons. I'm Jim Price, Jim Price Show Daily Update. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Well, the government told me it's March 13th. It's a Friday, 2026. Yeah, that's right. It's Friday the 13th. We're all going to die. No, Friday the 13th goes back to the Knights Templars, where the Pope at the time put out the edict or creed that all Knights Templars would be executed on sight without trial or question, where they then took De La May back to France and then drone and quartered him. So they took his guts out while he was alive and then pulled his parts apart with horses. So it seemed like, that's fine. Seems like a bad day. Maybe that's why we thought of that. Anyway, just like April Fool's is actually the New Year's, April Fool's is the New Year's. They started making fun of people who would continue to do that pagan holiday, April Fool's. Wait, no, Happy New Year. Wait, what? Yeah. Yeah, the reality sucks. I am in a little bit dressed down today. I went ahead with the T-shirt. This is actually from the Wall Drug Cafe, if you've ever been to North or South Dakota. This is the place to stop because it's really the only place to stop, but it is the place to stop if you're going to be out and about going to Mount Rushmore. A couple years ago, I spoke there, and I was on the way, and I stopped by the Wall Drug, and it's a great big place. A lot of people stop there. It's fairly neat to see. So anyway, just one of those neat little touristy things. Went up there, spoke at an event. See, that was the time I went to Mount Rushmore. I spoke in Mount Rushmore. There was another time I took basically this almost the same route, but then I ended up going over to Salt Lake City, Utah, and there was, driving through Park City and all that. But some of that up there, guys, I think we all kind of forget what the plains are way up north there. And when I saw the snow fences that they had on the side of the road were like 2 or 3 stories tall, like the snow fences, like these are structures. I was like, ugh. That seemed like a lot, right? So, anyway. Today is the 13th, the Friday the 13th. Tomorrow, most people will be celebrating St. Patrick's Day, which, if we actually get down to what St. Patrick really was, he was a bad person. But we'll celebrate that with drinking of green beer and wearing green shirts and having parades and doing things like that, or just giving ourselves a reason to go out and just have some fun. And we'll call it St. Patrick's Day, just like we call it Cinco de Mayo, just like we call it Valentine's, just like we call it 4th of July, just like we call it Memorial Day, just like we call it Labor Day. It's just something to get together, and we're calling it President's Day. Yeah, linen sell. They don't sell linen anymore, do they, on President's Day? That's a shame. So anyway, I named today's a little bit different in the idea that I named today's episode, Who Gets to Decide? And it seems like a long title, because usually most of my titles are like one-word titles, this and that. And, good to see you, Brenda. Thank you so much for being here. So, okay. So anyway, I have told you guys my opinion on how Erica Kirk has really not washed out to be the person we'd hope she would be. I guess the pure as the driven snow thing isn't a thing anymore because we all have our hoe phases, right, girls? Getting engaged, but then telling the world you've never been engaged and you haven't dated for 5 years. And I'm just going off of that part, guys. Listen, I'm not getting into all the Charlie Kirk's book, all the... no. So, I've told you my opinion on the blue and white state or country that seems to be the 51st state or the first capital of America. And the reason I say that is not because here, listen, I don't want the Iranians dead. I don't want the Russians dead. I don't want the Chinese dead. I don't want Indonesians dead. I don't want Taiwanese dead. I don't want North Korean dead. I don't want Japanese dead. I don't want Italians dead. But I do have a problem when I have a country who has its own constitution, its own budget, its own legislators, its own everything, but we've given it its Air Force, its military armament, we've given it its ammunition, we've given it, I don't know, hundreds of billions of dollars every year. Why? I don't know. It's like every year that Israel comes up short, we give them almost exactly the same money to pay off their deficit. Isn't that magical? Who's going to give us our $2 trillion a year for our deficit? Every year since 2020, we have added $2 trillion of debt. That's not an exaggeration. The problem is that we're paying off Israel's debt, yet we're still paying for debt of our own and incurring debt of our own while paying off other people's debt of their own. Now, we're going to stop there on that topic, right? How about they're another country? And no, listen, guys, listen. Everybody's like, well, you know, the Palestinians were blowing up things and and Iran and all that other stuff. Now, granted, I get it. They've been a fly on a horse's ass. But how big is a horse's ass? How big is a horse's body? And now we're trying to pay attention to just only the fly. That part of the body, that's the only thing that... When we have got, and I get it, guys, we cannot be blind to the outside world. That's not what I'm saying. But when we really do have some real issues that we could tackle that could probably have to do with some nice smooth pavement, or, you know, just some standard upkeep of the road. See, guys, by the way, guys, I don't know what other services I use. Honestly, the FCC, I don't use their service. They're the only ones limiting people. But I don't go to them and go, gosh, I need a big bucket of FCC today. Let's see. I'll do a dark meat with the coleslaw and let's do the baked beans. When we think of, I'm just gonna slow down here for a second here. When I think of my country and I think of the things that I could be doing with hundreds of billions of dollars that we send to hundreds of other countries. By the way, guys, we send billions of dollars to like 150 or 140 countries every year. Why? A lot of these countries don't even have $1 billion in their own treasury. When we get our stuff all worked out, and I get it, like I said, we have to be kind of in things, but we don't need to be doing regime changes and shit like that. And here's my sad part of this. I know Trump was pressured into it. That's it. Between Jared Kushner being his brother-in-law to the idea that he's trying to keep everything Netanyahu and all that because he doesn't want to go against Christianity because Christianity believes in Jesus, but the Jews and the Muslims don't believe in Jesus, but that's okay because we believe in Jesus and we believe that they're good people, but they think we're goyim. They think we're infidels. So I go back to Mr. Kennedy out of Louisiana statement where he tells me, well, they can like us for free. Or I'm sorry, they can hate us for free. We don't need to give them billions of dollars in reconstruction this and reconstruct that and that and do that. Now, I will tell you, the only time that I've actually given permission to really think about where this has been the fact that I do believe having the religion running the religion running the government is never a good idea because things come from God. God. It poofed into my mind, so it must be real. It poofed into my mind, so it must be an experience. It poofed in my mind, so I got to act on it. And that's what we do with religious zealots. They like to go out there and say, well, last night, God said to me, kill everybody born on the 2nd of every month. 1/12 of all the people, right? You know, whatever it is. When I think about Sudan, Afghanistan, Iraq, Iran, Kuwait, I mean, all these different places that we've gone into, and the $21 trillion that we have dumped into the Middle East in our own money, just in the Middle East, just our own reconstruction, keeping guys' boots on the ground, whatever you want to call it. We're almost 2/3 of our national debt paid off if we didn't spend the $21 trillion in the Middle East, but we know that most of that money was laundered. But guys, I got something for you here. You remember that little airplane thing where Uncle Barry was sending big pallets of cash to Iran? You guys remember that? That's so amazing how that sound transfers right into this microphone. Do you remember the big pallets of cash? Remember we were told that that wasn't real? Remember we were told that that's a conspiracy? Oh, well, that was their money. You remember any of these conversations? Well, that's right. We have Uncle Barry to thank for a whole bunch of pallets of cash, but the problem is that's the same way we were handling most of our payments in the Middle East during the Afghanistan, Iraq, Iran, Desert Storm, whatever it's been over the last 30-some years of being in the Middle East. I'm asking you again, what have we gotten for our money? What's going on? How's that look over there? We put a lot of money into that joint. $21 trillion. I think we kind of think we'd have the Taj Mahal a few times over. Think we could have rebuilt a few of the mud huts, don't you think? If we really wanted to. Now, I've kind of beat around the bush a little bit about Israel. And there's an article here that really kind of just in its thing. Hey, Courtney, glad you showed up here. Thank you for that. Yes, Courtney, thank you for being here. Now, this is, by the way, I don't know if you've ever listened to Wayne Allen Root, but he has this weird, odd, deep voice thing he tries to do while he's talking like this, and I can't do his voice very well. Anyway, he just seems to have this extra, like, instead of like me, I'm talking, it's just my voice, whatever, but he tries to put in that extra, I'm putting in that extra deep part of my voice, and I don't know, maybe it is. Maybe he woke up as a child, 2 or 3 years old, like, hi, Mom, hi, Dad, I don't know. But anyway, Wayne Root is out of Vegas, and he has a show, and they tend to put him in the news a few times here at Gateway Pundit, and I don't mind that. I don't really prescribe to his stuff, but he has to be Wayne Allen Root. He can't be Wayne, or Wayne Root. It's not the Wayne Root show. It's the Wayne Allen Root show. I don't know. Anyway, and he spells Allen Allyn, all Y-N. All Y-N is how you spell it. All Allyn. All Y-N. Hey, Hawaiian. Are you Hawaiian? I don't know. I just made that shit up. Another day, another attack on Jews at a Michigan temple where innocent Jewish children were at a day school. They weren't, Wayne. That is a misquote. Do not say that. There was no children in the building. There was a few of the employees' children there, but there was no school or anybody in attendance on that day. Anyway. On the right, the GOP and MAGA are just making progress, moving the Jewish support to Trump and the GOP. What are we talking about here? We're moving the Jewish vote to the GOP? Do you think that we need the Jewish vote? There is only 8 million Jews in the country of Israel. There are 360 million Americans, and you think the faction of Jews in America, which actually add up to I think 1% of the United States population, you're telling me that group, that block of voters, oh, well, I guess, hold on. Just like the LGBTY group is 0.5% of the nation's population, it's a 0.5%. Well, I could see why you want the Jewish, because they're 1%. That's like twice as many votes as the LGBTY. And look what the left is willing to do for the LGBTY cutie badoo. I mean, they'll kill people for that group. So no wonder we're all in on Jews, man. That's 1% of the population. And I mean, if 30% of that actually voted, I mean, they could really move the needle. But Wayne is out there telling the world that we need the Jew vote, that we need Jews to somehow, we need to placate to them, we need to bend the knee, we need to kowtow, we need to bend over at the waist, bowing our power over to them, hitting our head on the floor so hard as to bruise our forehead, to kowtow to the Jews because we just need to do that. We need the Jew vote. We got to get them. It's what makes every election on the edge, man. They're the difference makers. Well, any group you want to call 1% is the difference makers, because that's usually about what it really is a drawdown to, is about 1% of the popular vote in the United States population presidency, because that's what they've done with the machines. But anyway, I am disturbed at this, but this is what Wayne says. It's time to say it out loud. It is open season on Jews in America. Okay? Jews need to carry a gun at all times. Okay? I think everybody should carry a gun at all times. I don't have a problem with that. President Trump needs to pass this executive order, and yes, I'm calling out Tucker and Candace. Well, here's my problem. If you want to call out Tucker and Candace, well, that's fine. But they're just asking questions like I'm asking questions, like everybody should be asking questions. Why do we keep pumping money into another country? Why do we keep going to war? Why do we keep doing the bidding? Why do we keep having all these groups of people go to Israel? Because it's somehow their connection to what? Ted Cruz is going like 2 or 3 times a year. Mitch McConnell, that guy's been about a bazillion times a year. And these are Republicans. And the sad part of it is that it's 100% of Congress. Even the Muslims and all the Jew haters and all that in the Democrats and the House and the Senate, they all go too. They still go. It's an education. It's not about visiting Bethlehem, where Jesus was in a manger, which is actually the most significant room in the building. But anyway, no, it's about going to the Wailing Wall, the Roman fortress wall, and putting a piece of paper in the Roman fortress wall and praying. That's what makes you Jewish. That makes you connected to Judaism. That's what makes the Lord love you more, because he's going to favor you because you support a lineage of people that have nothing to do with the direct lineage, and said that if you act in the way, you'll be honored in all your days the way I will honor him, Israel. My problem is who gets to call the balls and strikes on this? See, again, this is not where, you guys, we had everybody out there saying that, well, you guys got to get the shot, and some people did and some people didn't. Well, no, you gotta believe in 9/11. Some people did, some people didn't. No, you gotta believe in, and so who is the arbitrator? Who is the designee? Who is the licensure board or body that gives some individuals one over the other to say that in this situation, because it's biblical, And Christianity is the only thing that believes in Jesus. Oh, no. Muslims do believe in Jesus. They just believe he was a prophet, and he actually is in the Quran. But what about the Torah? What about that part? What about the part where they don't believe in Jesus? What about that there are parts of Catholics that don't believe in Jesus? Oh, no, there's people out there that are considered to be Catholics that have a problem with Jesus being the Son of God. There's a lot of this where I don't understand. People put labels over the top of things, and they have all these things, but I will give you the only religion I know of that's really not at this point trying to kill anybody is Christians. The Muslims, the Jews, they're trying to kill people. Why? Does that bring in membership? Muslims hate Jews and Christians. Jews hate Muslims and Christians. Oh, no, we don't. We love Christians. Why? So you can pat us on the head because we're a good boy? Not according to your own Torah. We're goyim. We're imperfect. We've eaten the flesh of split-hooved animals. We've consumed human flesh. Whatever it is that they've done to our hamburgers. So who gets to decide that? Who? Okay, listen. All right, I'm gonna try to get back as neutral as I can here for a second. And I know that I'm a little biased on this, but I'm asking, who gets to decide that we all have to bend the knee to this? Wayne here, out of Vegas, Mr. On the radio, and his weird, awkward, deep voice. I don't know why he does it. Again, maybe that's who he is. I'd love to meet him in person. I've never met him in person. But why does he get to be the arbitrator saying that he needs to call out Tucker and Candace? Why is it that Trump has to sign an executive order to protect people? I thought all people were equal, under God, indivisible. I thought we were doing all that shit. Now we're doing this shit instead? Most importantly, our House Speaker, Tip O'Neill, once reported, money is the mother's milk of politics. Fundraising is the most important part of any political campaign. So let's put aside Jewish votes moving to the right because the Jew hatred on the left, for the first time ever, Trump got all the big money from the Jewish billionaires, business moguls on Wall Street and Silicon Valley. Jewish money helped elect President Trump, all based on Jewish hatred from the left. Okay, guys, listen. Hey, all the money you sent in, all the T-shirts, all the hats, all the talking, all the rallies, all the shit that you did. I'm sorry. I wish that you would understand that the only thing that helped, for the first time ever, Trump got all the big money from Jewish billionaire business moguls on Wall Street and Silicon Valley. Jewish money helped elect President Trump, all based on Jew hatred from the left. I don't hate the freaking Jews, so stop trying to pile somebody in there because I don't want to do their shit for them. Am I losing my mind that because I don't want to means that I hate them? They could go fight their own damn wars. They got their own damn money. They got their own damn country. They got their own damn runways. They got their own damn military. They got their own damn spy apparatus. Why am I involved? Why? Why do I have to give you an opinion one way or the other? Because you involve me in something that has nothing to do with us? Oh, no, they're the chosen people, Jimmy. You're going to go to hell. You won't be blessed all of your days, you dumbass. Well, I'm a dumbass. Line it up, boys and girls. I'm the biggest dummy you know out here. I know nothing. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a reporter. I'm not anything that makes me have responsibility for anything that I say or do. But the problem is that the things I'm saying or doing are just questions, and I'm asking from an observational point. I'm not making accusations that somebody's got a third ding-dong. I'm saying that, guys, why do I have to tell you? Why do I have to tell you? Hey, Joan Deswell, good to see you. How's Arjonda? Are you out of Florida, back up in the cold country, or are you still down in the old dangler of America? I mean, we can call Italy a boot. I can say that Florida is the dangler of America. Kind of dangles out there in the water. Anyway. But it's the simpleness of this that I do believe the Persian people are amazing people. I have friends that are Persian. I don't have a problem with them, but everybody's got stupid people in all their different countries and all their different races, right? But again, if we're trying to take out the religious part of it because we don't like it when religion's trying to run politics, because when politics gets ran by religion, they do some really weird shit. But we can't say it's a war on religion because why? Whoa, freedom of religion. Holy shit balls on fire, boy. I tell you what, man, you can't be talking about no religion like that. You say you're going to take those people out of that religion, boy, man, there'll be people all over you. There's a whole thing with that. Remember the Jews. Nobody killed 6 million people in Auschwitz and other concentration camps. First of all, the amount of, let me do this. I weigh 174 pounds, 175 pounds if I've maybe had a little extra to eat some days. And I have been sitting at this weight, boom, right on, right? Now you're telling me that they went and got a bunch of people into trains, 6 million people into trains. We can't get 200 people on an airplane in a half an hour. But against their will, we moved people on trains across the country, put them in cages, and then escorted them into a room that has a lock on the inside of the door to then kill them, and then bring all the bodies back out of that room, and then put them back onto another train or whatever it is, and then haul those bodies off. Is that what you're trying to tell me? Guys, if you've ever had to move a human body, way that you're trying to describe it to me that they did, all the executions, it becomes a little stupid because you're not going to do things that make it harder for you after the person's dead. Why would you take them into a gas chamber? Why not just shoot them in the train cars as they go by? Why not just leave them in the train cars until they die and then just roll them back out? You just leave them in starvation. Only takes about 20 to 30 days for them to die from malnutrition, and most of them are already malnutritioned, so it's not much harder to just kick them off the edge. Isn't that what the story is? Oh, Grandma snuck her wedding ring out of her ass getting out of Auschwitz. It's the only way she could keep her wedding ring. But I can have the conversation about Rothschilds in World War II. I could talk about the Stargates. I could talk about the Indiana Jones, the Temple of Doom of things during World War II. I could talk about taking out the czars and turning them into prime ministers and taking out the kings and turning them into presidents in the World War I. I could talk about how all these things happened and that Poland actually was given an entire section of Germany after World War I, which where then the Gazarian Mafia, the Gazarian Jews actually moved into Western Poland, or what was Eastern Germany. There's just too much of this, man. There's just too much of this. I get the idea that we don't want to be wrong. Okay, listen, I don't want to be wrong either. Or either. But when I think about I served the military for decades. And I did that because I believed that we were doing it right, and I believed that we were on the right side of things, and I thought that we really put some intelligence into it, and I thought that we were actually doing things with honor and dignity, and we were willing to sacrifice ourselves because of our stupidity or because they want to expose us. We were willing to stand there and stand in the gap and say, no, this is my country. You can try to show my naked pictures. You can tell my wife or my husband, my girlfriend, my boyfriend, my his, whiz, this, whatever it is. Tell them all my dirty secrets. But I will not let you manipulate this country. I will not bend the knee to you. I thought, honestly, guys, listen, I thought people had different ideologies, but I honestly thought that they would never, ever really compromise themselves to our country. And I was the greatest fool of all. I was the guy who really got it wrong. I was the guy who really didn't get it right. Because I didn't ask more questions. I just did what I was told to do. And I don't mean that I was a lemming. I wasn't that person. But a lot of things I thought we were on the right side of things, so I never really pushed for a lot of other things. And I let a lot of things happen in my world. But then when I bothered to go in my mid-40s and I want to go run for office, and I thought I'm going to do this state senate thing because why not in your 40s? Your kids are all out of the house, Jimmy. You got a little money, you could take some time off of work here and there because of your position and the things you can do, blah, blah, blah. Go help your state, man. Go fill the gap. Stand there and don't get corrupted for your state. Don't get corrupted for a little bit of money. Don't get corrupted because your pee-pee pictures will embarrass you. Don't get corrupted because you say that weird things on text messages. Don't get corrupted. Just let them publish the text messages because your city, your county, state, your federal government are more important than your need to hide your embarrassment. See, I thought that that's the world we really lived in. I thought that that was the ideology that I believed existed all around me. And I thought when I went into these hallowed halls of legislation, of democracy, right? Oh, we vote into the democratic process. We live in a constitutional republic where we have representatives and we have senators and then we have cities and counties and states. Oh, what a grand plan that no one would kowtow, no one would bend the knee because they would sacrifice themselves and humiliate themselves, never to be manipulated or coerced or bribed. Oh, I'm sorry, campaign contribution. See, I thought there was things like that was like, oh, yeah, that's what my country is. But now here's the problem. I'm here having a conversation with you about a guy who's on a radio station, and he's in Vegas, and he's got this market thing, and he's all in touch with all these things, but he's out there telling you right now that, hey, you need to do the Jew thing because the Jew thing will get you an American presidency. Like, what the? I don't know if that was Jewish enough for you, but I was trying. Hey, Gus, what's up, man? Good to see you. So, let's go on with this article. So please don't lie to yourself and say that it's not Jew hatred. It's only questioning the government of Israel. I hear the excuses all the time. Stop peeing on my leg and tell me it's raining. Tucker, Candace, and others of teams of Jew hatred. Oh, they're on team Jew hatred. What I hate Jew. I don't hate no damn Jews. My great-grandfather is a Jew. Not much of a Jew, but he was kind of a Jew. But Judaism is actually passed through the mother. But Tucker is questioning what the Bible says about Jews. Tucker is asking if the Jewish people are really God's chosen people. Because it's not in there. It doesn't say little people with curly cues that come off their ears are the Jewish people. The Hasidics. This Tucker's asking Jews to take DNA tests. Why? Why not? Are you going to find out they're just Polish people? Or just Germans? That's disgusting. Well, is it? You want me to pay child support? Why don't you do a DNA test for that? Oh, I can give you thousands of dollars a month or a year, and that's okay, but we can't do a DNA test for someone telling me I got to bend the knee to them? Come on. Hey, Maggie O'Leary, good to see you. Good to see you. Now, I'm stepping on toes today, guys, and I know that. It's a Friday. We're gonna spin this off here. We're going to have a good time, but I just want to get through this. Tucker's giving a large platform of Jew-hating Holocaust deniers. Oh, really? You mean Denying the history that the government's told us that's absolutely fact, but yet we can find completely contradictory facts and even eyewitness testimony. But those are the Holocaust deniers, the people that are like, well, yeah, I was there, man. I was there. It was just a regular old prison camp. It wasn't a big deal. Those were the showers. We just went and took showers there. That's why you locked them from the inside so we could go in there, take our clothes off, and shower. By the way, gas rises, guys. Why would you put all the shower heads at the top of the ceiling? Tucker's giving a large platform to Jew haters. Tucker suggesting we want Iran to unconditionally surrender. Well, isn't that what Trump did today? Trump just said Iran has to unconditionally surrender. That was his words. Tucker is suggesting we want Iran to unconditionally surrender so U.S. and Israel soldiers can rape all the women and young girls in Iran. Where did you freaking get that, bro? How did you get to that far? How did you get that far? I got you on the unconditional surrender part. That is actually a thing. But you're saying that the Holocaust deniers want us to, we don't want to go into Iran because that means the Jews get to go rape people. Have you seen some of these Jewish men? These are not exactly like your big boys, right? These aren't the heavy lifters in the gym. These guys aren't the guys of height here. So you think those guys are going to go take on Parisian women? Bet. I give you 1-for-1 a Jewish man against a Parisian woman. Sorry, guys. You give me any Jewish man in all of whatever Israeli you have to be a resident in that state, and I will put you up against weight for weight, pound for pound, any Parisian woman against you. Seriously, guys, I will go pound for pound, 120-pound man, 120-pound woman. I guarantee you those Parisian women will fight and scratch your eyes out. They'll do shit to you you haven't begin to think about, brother. So, yeah, we're worried about the Israelites running over. Remember, they're peaceful people. They don't want any harm anybody. Oh, sorry, we have to bomb you. You think those are guys going to run over and start raping Persian women? Have you ever met a true Persian man who loves his woman, who loves the women in his life? He's got multiple women. You touch any brand of them, even one of his wives, one of his mothers, one of his sisters, one of his daughters, one of his cousins. Real Parisian men don't go for that. And you think that just the Israelites are just going to go marching on to Zion. What are you talking about? This is the stuff that, Wayne, here's the problem, guys. 5 years ago, 10 years ago, I'm this guy. I am this guy. And there's maybe even episodes of me early on talking about how we should be in there helping Israel. Hey, what's up? I thought that was Dave Glevin. Haven't seen him in a few days. Where's Dave Glevin at? So remember, guys, go over to Rumble. Also go over to Twitter. Share on Twitter. Share on Rumble, please. This is the only way I can break the matrix. I have looked at everything. I have done everything. In fact, there's even if you pay advertise, we guarantee you. This is from Facebook. Facebook will tell you, you'll get so many likes per, how many dollars you give us. Man. So if you guys could do it organically, that'd be awesome. And also, if you guys donate to the show, it would be great for that, too. These little light rings don't light them off of my good energy. They have designed them to run off electricity. And even though I'm electric, still doesn't pay the bills. Well, maybe me being electric does pay the bills. Because if you guys donate, then I get to pay my bills. Math. See what I did there? You see what I was like, hey, man, so, if you donate to me, and then, the light ring stays on, so then, see that, right, bro? See it? High five. I used to do the whole thing where, hey, an hour of your salary for a month of my time. I used to make that a statement quite often. And sometimes people do it, sometimes they don't. If you guys want to donate $1,000 a month, that would be great. If I could count on somebody doing that, several people being able to do those things, I could amplify this and I could pay Facebook, right? Oh, thanks, Facebook. But what I have to do is I have to pay to push through the shadow ban. See, they're doing that gatekeeping. So I have to be in there. I have to pay for my website SEO so I can my search engine optimization. If you don't pay for search engine optimization on your website, you have to type it all the way out, and then you press enter and find thejimpriceshow.com or the Jim Price Show at Twitter or the Jim Pro Show. You see what I'm saying? It's all gatekeeping. But if I could get to that point, guys, that would be awesome. So if I had so I do have some really great donors. Some people really stepped up and done amazing stuff. But we really got to, it's kind of like that thing. Oh, every small donation makes a difference in the Democrat Party. Yeah, if you guys want to donate $5 to me 100,000 times, that would be cool. Yeah, that's actually happening on the Democrat rolls on the other side. Like where ladies that are on like $12,000 a year Social Security are making $500,000 donations to this, but at $5 a time. They just the algorithm forgot to quit spinning on that one. The AI just kept going bang, 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 bang. So anyway, Jonas says, "What happened to Tucker? Did he have a nervous breakdown? Seems he's changed." No, actually, the problem with it is that the whole world has actually shifted. But here's the thing. Let me go with this. Let me step back for 1 second before I go down the Tucker Carlson path. Remember, Q said, save Israel for last. Why is Israel such a hot button right now? I mean, really think about it. Oh, we've all talked about Israel in the past. We've all thought about the this and that's and the other things. But why is it that now? Here, kind of after a lot of this stuff has been trickling out, and all of a sudden, we got to go carry water for Israel. We got to do the Carry Water Israel campaign. Why is it so exposed that you can see that Israel's not the one bombing Iran, but we are bombing Iran for Israel? So I think there's more to this than I really do, guys. Just stick with me on this. I know I think between this and the Vatican and a couple other things, guys, I think we're only 10% way into or 10 or 20% way into the Jeffy files. The Jeffy files, you're not getting all of the existing evidence that's in ongoing cases, in ongoing investigations. So you're only getting what they can release that is, by the way, have you noticed that all the Jeffy files, there really is no abuse in them? Not really. I mean, there's some couple pictures in there. You're like, hey, what is that? It looks like abuse. And you're like, oh yeah, that is abuse. But it's a lot of emails and text messages and all this shit. Guys, there's decades and decades of footage. Listen to me. Decades of footage. Day after day after day after week after week after month after month after year after year after year. He started his honeypot stuff back in the early 90s, like 93. That's when he really got his CIA and his Mossad connections really tied in. And then he was also playing a little bit with the Russians and somebody with Germany too. He was getting paid by all sides. He wasn't doing dirty work against those people, but he was working for those people. So he wouldn't work against Germany for other people. He would work for Germany against other people he wasn't getting paid with. Anyway, I don't know. I mean, we wouldn't have the conversation like, oh no, all the files are almost out. I mean, there may be a few more. Guys, if there's ongoing investigations and if there are literally decades of not only footage on the Jeffy Island, but the Jeffy Ranch in New Mexico, and then the Jeffy apartment in New York, and then the Jeffy place in Florida, and then the Jeffy airplane, guys, these all had recording devices and places and all this stuff. There are DNA, there are human embryos, there are baby parts, there are body parts, guys, these are all well described in the emails. But where's the evidence? I don't think we're seeing it yet because it's still coming. Maggie says, I'd rather bomb Iran for the Iranian people. Bingo, Maggie. Bingo. Bingo. But see, here's the problem. We have to attack the leadership. If you notice the words that are used during this campaign, they do not talk about the king or the prime minister or the presidente or the, I don't know, what's the other title for leadership in the world? Whatever. No, they talk about leadership, and they talk about the Ayatollah. Ayatollah is a name of a spiritual leader. So what we've done is we've used this word shift, like, ooh, I'm moving the coconuts here. Here we go. Ooh, where'd it go? And Ayatollah. Oh, yes, here we go. Ooh, leadership. Ha, ha, ha. I mean, what was it the other day? I named one of the episodes lazy. I mean, guys, this is lazy. We just got to be able to read through their stuff, cipher through what they're saying. They keep saying leadership and all these other things, but if you actually look at the military sites that they've actually gotten, they've said they have bombed 4,000 separate targets, and that they were taking out the Ayatollah and his leadership in succession. Yes, they are taking out the Iranians' ability to have a military. Guys, listen. I'm Iran. That's how powerful I am against the American government and the full force of the weight of the drones and the bunker busters. I mean, if there's any moment now, there could be one that just flies right through and just turns my property into a big crater, right? That's what Iran is really doing. I mean, I go out there on the front porch and throw a few bullets down range, try to protect myself. Iran doesn't have shit, guys. Seriously, we could have sent in about 200 or 300 Marines and literally said, sick 'em. What do you need? And they would have just walked through, and probably in about a weekend. Maybe 7 days if they got to do a little cleanup. But if you literally just let the Marines go in there and take out what was the leadership of the religious group, see? But that makes us killers of religious people, not leadership or ayatollahs. You see how I did that there? You see how that word play? Oh, and by the way, guys, here's why the Democrats, this is a very great factoid here at the very end. Why do the Democrats not want the Save America Act? Why do they not want it? And this is from Schumer's mouth alone. Why do they want this to not go through no matter what it looks like? Because the military takes over. Did you know that? Did you know that? This is like, you need to clip this part out and you can say, it ends up that the military gets to go into the voter rolls and gets to verify and use their databases, and they get to clean the rolls without being asked. And his very words, Mr. Schumi said, well, they'll go up to the voting poll place and want to vote, and they'll be told they're not on the voter rolls anymore. Because that's what voting poll people look like when they say that. I mean, literally, this guy is sitting, he does that over the glasses thing all the time. He's got this stupid forehead that rolls back to here. He's got that really long, shitty nose that comes out there. And then they'll go to vote because that's their constitutional right as an illegal immigrant. What? Don't say illegal. As an immigrant. He's pissed because the military gets to go in and take over the voter rolls. It becomes a military operation because it is federal. Oh, and I have one more for you. In 1886 or 1889, there was a federal law put into place that says there is to only be mechanical and paper ballots. And in 2002, Uncle Barry brought in the voting machines. So that means that everything after 2002 at the federal level at a minimum has been illegal. Anything that used a voting machine is considered to be illegal because according to that federal law that has never been rewritten, redone, or nothing, it literally states that there's only two ways to vote. You vote in person, two ways to vote in person, paper or a ballot machine, one of those things that does the ka-chunk thing for you. So like the hanging Chad in Florida thing. So this is it, guys. This is where we're at. I think it's going to get a lot more fun as we go along. We'll see. I am enjoying a lot of this, but don't get caught up in the hysteria of it, right? Don't be those people. Things are going to get better. I do like what I'm seeing in a lot of ways. I do not appreciate. Guys, listen. I don't have to believe or say I know that Candace Owen is absolutely accurate, but I do like the fact that she's asking questions. I do like the fact that she's putting a burr in somebody's saddle, and it's just not an easy, smooth ride. Because listen, guys, for whatever reason, the Democrats aren't coming after Erica. Oh, they were after Charlie. They were trying to kill Charlie. Charlie had death threats. Charlie had a security team. Charlie knew his life was in jeopardy. But Erica Kirk is just walking in because she squeezed two babies between her thighs, and now suddenly she's just a CEO of a $250 million industry that she now has tens of millions of dollars at her personal disposal from different fundraisers and life insurance policies, but nobody is going after her on the left at all. Oh, they made fun of the fireworks at the memorial. Which again, hey guys, listen. The fireworks was nothing unique. That if you've been to any turning point event, those are on between every single talker that comes up. Guys, it literally that I mean, I just don't, so I don't like about they have all the fireworks, sparkler thingies. It's like, well, that's what Turning Point does. That is literally their brand. That's not hey, we do it at funerals. It's literally their brand. Hey, and I'm a big Charlie Kirk fan. I love what he was doing. But I just have to ask you guys, why is it that this lady who we keep tripping across her past and her own words, nobody, and I mean nobody, is going after her? Why isn't Joy Behar coming after her for being a Christian, for talking Jesus all the time? Why isn't she coming after her because her husband was terrorizing children on campuses? Or did we get rid of the problem? Or did the problem remove himself so that it looked like he was removed? I don't know, guys. Crazy things. Oh, wow, I didn't see that in that way regarding Erica. Well, yeah. It just, guys, you gotta ask yourself those. You just ask us those next level questions. What's really going? What's the other thing? What's this? What is the other side thinking about? Why is that a victory for them, or why is that a failure for them, or was that a failure? Our victory is actually their victory. Yeah, there's a lot of that shit going around. Anyway, guys, it's great seeing you guys. Great comments today. Happy. It's actually St. Patrick's Day is next Tuesday, but. Happy St. Patrick's Day. A lot of people will have their parades and go out and go out and enjoy yourself once in a while. And that doesn't mean be bad to people or whatever. That doesn't mean that kind of like, I guess if that's your thing. I guess, whatever, bro. But I'm saying, go out, let your hair down. Do some things that you hadn't thought you should do because I'm too old for that, or, well, I'm a mom now, or I'm a grandma now. I can't do that because, I part my hair on the left or I part my hair on the right. Well, no, I can't do that because I've got, guys, enjoy yourself. Find yourself out there this weekend. Get in the sun. Make sure you're getting in the sun a minimum of an hour to 2 hours every single day. Get yourself some fresh air. This shit here, all this box is killing us. Really is. I promise you guys. It really is. All right, guys, that's about it for me. Remember the 10% we do for our neighbor, community, city, county, state, the federal government. The more you do for them, the less they have to do for you. Learn how to be selfless. And not so damn selfish, right, Aunt Hillary? Yeah, that Uranium One deal. We're not talking about that anymore? Okay, sorry. Hold the line, hold fast. Do not give up. Do not give in. We'll win. I promise I can't keep. Guys, you've always been the answer out there. Remember that Constitution, the old hemp paper, and those big signatures at the bottom? Remember that limits your government. That is the wet blanket that holds your government down. And you get to move freely and have freedom. All right, guys, that's about it for me. I'm going to get out of here. Man, it's great seeing you guys. Good stuff. We'll see you guys. By the way, I am going to have a great guest on next Wednesday, and he has already been a guest on here a few years back, and we're going to have him back on Wednesday. It's going to be good there. So, but by the way, I will be back on Monday. I probably will be off next Thursday and Friday and Monday because I will be in Phoenix selling mushrooms. So anyway, there's a health fair out there. All right, guys, that's about it for me. Thank you guys so much for everything you guys are doing. I'm Jim Price, the Jim Price Show Daily Update. You guys all be good to each other out there, and I'll see you.